And we are back. So, last we left off, our unfortunate fellowship had circumvented some trouble earlier. You managed to outrun and outpace a hunting pack of demons of Khorne, specifically flesh hounds and some bloodletters that were closing in upon the party. Though through the efforts of Marius and Seamus, and a little bit of help from Bragadine, you managed to lay a bit of a trap for your pursuers, and through a hidden dwarf tunnel that you escaped through, you ignited and exploded one of the glass balls that Marius has in his possession. In doing so, you definitely annihilated the creatures, or at least you believe you did, as well as much of the tunnel, more than likely. It'll be fun to get back that way. Regardless, you, through a series of hidden tunnels that run through this part of the hold, led by Drogor, you also circumvented many battles that might have happened had you not had him in with you at this point, as there are roving bands of chaos worshippers and of beastmen, cultists, and even possibly chaos warriors themselves roaming these halls, always on alert, looking for a fight. You made it to a T intersection where you came upon a door, very elaborate door, that is definitely your end goal, as Drogor let you know that is the vault you're trying to get into. Though you're not the only ones trying to get into it, as apparently the Dawizar have found it as well. And they are utilizing a very corrupt and disturbing demon engine, fueled by corpses that are being hefted by two slave ogres, to bludgeon their way, more specifically, melt their way into the vault and claim their prize. You were led around the corner through a more stealthy advance, or at least you thought it was, as apparently someone may have noticed one of your party, despite your successful checks. Sorry, guys. Regardless, you bought yourself quite some time with your checks, though, so it wasn't an immediate discovery. And as they were approaching, you tried to open up this secret alcove into the vault. And you tried several methods. Bragadine put his hand upon the cold stone and nothing happened. Marius did the same and nothing happened. But Bragadine, through a moment of inspiration, sliced into his flesh, the blood flowing, placed it against the stonework, and then it moved inside, opening up a pathway. Which should be a disturbing thing to at least you, Marius, as
it is
some kind. This is very odd method of anything dwarven for them to use blood, and for them to use human blood at that would be just beyond bizarre. This is very, very strange that something like this exists. Unfortunately, none of you can read the inscription upon it. So there is an inscription that you cannot read that might have explained some of what was happening. But regardless, the hole opens up, and Drogor glances over his shoulder. Hurry! Quickly! Do you press inside?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to assume Bragadine's first, since he opened the door. He shuffles inside. Everybody make me... Well, no, Bragadine, make me perception test as you stumble inside.
Oh, no. I think we're going to re-roll that.
Okay.
We're going to spend our other fortune point. Oh, yeah. Much better. Perception. I got a 27 under 49.
Okay, very good. So, Bragadine, as you stumble inside, you notice that this room has no lighting, but there is some light spilling out from the hall behind you. And of course, you can see a glow to your right, which you're assuming is probably the front doors that are being melted through. You as you're stumbling through, you glance down at your feet, just in time to see that your foot is about to step on some kind of rune that's embedded into the floor. It spans there are several sets of them that looks like they're going to be hard to avoid. Would you like to attempt to do so?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I want to be very careful and not try to set off any more
Make me an athletics
surprises.
check, Bragadine.
We go. Athletics. Ooh, 27 under 33.
Okay, so you have just enough wherewithal to glance down and see this and take a bit of a skip. And you skip over the runes and land easily and are in complete darkness. Marius, you're up next, I'm assuming, since you were also right there at the doorway.
Okay.
You see, uncharacteristically, you see Beno do like this awkward skip, and you, with your vision, you can see that there is rune work along the floor. And actually, as you look, it's on the sides of the opening and the top of it as well.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I try to jump over it too.
Okay,
If I saw nothing
athletics
happen to him
test,
there.
please.
Oh, nice. That's a 7, 26.
So, okay, easily you skip inside. It's more of a jump for you. You're not as dainty as Babino. So you kind of jump inside and land, and you actually knock into Bragadine, who stumbles into the darkness. And Bragadine, you hit your head on something. You don't know what it is yet. We'll get to that in a second, as there is no light in here. Seamus, would you like to do the same?
Yes, please.
Make me an athletics test, Seamus.
All right. That is a 16 with the... so I have a -10 for exhaustion, but I also have strong legs talent, so could I use my strong legs if I'm jumping?
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
All right, so that will cancel each other out, so that will be a 16 out of 37.
Okay. So you know you've got this jump, Seamus. Seamus, I believe you have corruption.
I do.
How much corruption do you have currently?
I'm currently at 4.
Okay. Seamus, you jump across the runes, and I need you to make me an endurance test as they begin glowing bright blue as you jump through them.
Oh, jeez. Ooh, that is going to be... Oh, that is a 54 out of the -10 is a 55.
Okay. So, Seamus, these runes glow bright, and you feel a massive pain rack your body as you jump through, and your feet give out underneath you. And Marius, you look over your shoulder. Suddenly, the room is illuminated briefly, and Drogor flinches back. He flinches away from him. And Seamus, you've taken 10 wounds as your flesh is blistered. You can reduce it with your toughness bonus.
All right.
And you've also taken, because of your success, you only get 1 more point of exhaustion. But in the process, 1 of your corruption points has been burned from your flesh.
All right.
So you're down to 3 now. But you are feeling taxed, and the runes have dimmed once again, as you apparently are not exactly what they were keeping out, but something close.
Oh. Shit.
And Drogor, as he flinches away, the door closes once again behind him. And you are all in complete darkness.
Oh, gee. I can't see.
You can see just because of some of the dim light, but I'm assuming you want to do something for your other party members. I would hope at least.
I'll probably
Light
a
your
torch
candle, man.
and then light my candle, and I'll
Okay.
hand the torch to Bragadine or Seamus.
Okay, yeah, you light your candle, and you see Seamus is not looking good. He's once
No.
again doubled over, and he's just like, oh, and you can see there's actually some steam and some char coming off of him. Marius, you would have seen what happened, and it was highly unusual.
Okay. Sigma, this place, and I'll take some of the bandages out and try to give him a little heal.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make me a heal check.
No, it's not very good. It's a 82 out of 37. So
Oh, jeez.
I don't know what
Do you
that
want
does.
you want to re-roll it?
No,
Oh, you don't want to re-roll it?
I've only got one left. I gotta save it for something dire.
Okay. Well, in that case, Seamus, Marius kind of glances over you, and he can't really see any wounds on you. It looks
is
like
he
there's
blind?
some char, but he's not. He doesn't. He doesn't know what to do with you. He hasn't dealt with
Yeah.
burns before, so nothing
I
happens.
slap him. Slap. You're fine, Seamus. You gotta stick it off.
You're fine. Exactly. So that just happened. The torches are lit, and the candle is lit, and it illuminates the room before you. Bragadine, your head is against some stonework, and you kind of glance up, kind of rub it. You're like, ah, God, bumped your head a little bit, but you feel okay.
Oh,
Actually, now that the room is illuminated, you can see before you that you're in a large room, not too large though. It's about probably a 50 by 50 square. And inside are what look to be like large stone pedestals. They're rectangular in shape. And they are a few feet wide and about 6 feet in length. And they are in a row pattern across this room, starting from the front all the way to the back. So there's just rows and rows of these pedestals, and they're all made
like
of
columns?
not columns. They're on the ground, and they only go up a few feet from the ground.
Okay.
They go up to about waist level for Bragadine, since you're the shortest. They would be slightly above waist level for a dwarf. They're very, very thick and sturdy looking. And as Bragadine, as you're glancing up, now that you've steadied yourself, you've actually hit your head on the closest one. And the top of this structure, this rectangular stonework, this pedestal, is actually layered in what looks like bronze. And upon the pedestal, it looks like there is a dwarven form that has been sculpted into the top of it, laying still with their eyes closed, completely in bronze. Their hands crossed over their chest, and this one in particular is holding what looks like a large axe in one of its hands. And all of it is made out of bronze. And you see a similar nature about every single one of these pedestals. They all have a dwarven form covered in bronze, either their hands crossed or their hands open, holding various weapons and items and tools of sorts. What would you guys like to do?
Are any of them missing? Are missing their tools or their weapons? Does it seem like there might be anything missing from any of them that I can see within my torchlight or a little bit of walking around?
You're looking for missing items?
Yeah, just to see, like, because if most of them have something in their hands.
Yes. So you begin glancing around. You can see there's a dull orange glow coming from the front of the room. Obviously, where the demon engine is quickly churning through the stone. So you might only have a few checks to be made before something might happen. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Ah, there it is. All right. It's a 56 over 49. So that's a fail.
It's a fail. You start glancing around Bragadine, and you're nervous. You're a little nervous about this whole situation, especially after seeing the hideous machine that is burrowing its way into this room. And you're a little disturbed. So you glancing around, you don't see much. You don't notice that if any of the dwarven structures look like they're missing anything or not. You don't see anything of that sort. So we will move to Seamus. What are you doing in this moment?
Probably just like keeled over.
You are indeed.
If possible, analyzing my own wounds with my own healing.
Okay, you can.
Traits.
I will allow you to attempt that.
All right. Not gonna be good. That a minus 20. That's a 17 out of 31.
Okay, good. At a minus 20, you're at a 31?
Yeah, my healing's a 51 because I'm super intelligent.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Good. Awesome. So you recover your intelligence bonus plus your success levels and wounds.
Sweet.
So yeah, you managed to patch yourself up, Seamus. It's more so you just kind of just regaining a little bit of strength in your body, more so than you actually bandaging yourself, as you probably wouldn't be able to find any visible wounds outside of just a couple charred spots of skin, but nothing that's all superficial. The damage was internal, obviously, but yes, you recover your vitality. So that's going to be your check, Seamus.
All right.
So Marius, what would you like to do at this point?
I'm in the room with them.
Yes,
right?
you're all in the room, and you see this laid out before you. And you see that Bragadine is kind of nervously looking around, trying to figure something out.
Okay. What's Zardoom doing at this moment?
Zardoom isn't inside. Zardoom was outside when the doors closed.
He was? Oh,
Yep.
shit. I didn't realize that.
So
Wait,
it's just
what? Where's
the
the dwarf?
three of you in this room. The door's closed.
Gosh, I guess since we don't really know what we're trying to grab, I would just be kind of looking around to see if anything looks... He said that he wanted to get something out of here.
He said was... If you can remember, all he said it was an
desiccated.
artifact. He just said something unnatural.
Yeah, so I guess I'll try to look for something that I wouldn't think maybe
Okay.
would be dwarvish, if that makes sense.
That is very fair. Go ahead and make me perception test at plus 20.
Okay.
Ooh.
That would be 55 out of 70. Out of 70.
That's a critical success.
Yes, it is.
Oh, so Marius, you're definitely more at home in the mountain than these two bumbling fools.
Oh, this is my home. Yeah.
It is, exactly. So you begin glancing around, Marius, and you quickly spot one of the encased doors, and you, with your critical success, the detail on these dwarves is too perfect. And glancing closer, you think this might actually be a dwarf, encased in metal. These
Sigma.
are apparently tombs. This is a burial chamber of sorts. You've never heard of anything like this happening before with the Dawi. You've heard that they bury their dead in unique ways, but this is something very, very strange. They each have Khazalid plaques about them that probably would describe the person that's been entombed like this that you cannot read. But you know enough that with your critical success that you can kind of put all these pieces together. But you do see towards the front of the room, close to the doors that are melting, there is something sticks out to you. One of the dwarves doesn't quite look right. And you begin heading in that direction. And as you do, you see that this one, the arms are open. And in one hand, you see that it has almost a human-like skull kind of cradled in its hand to where it would be kind of hard to see until you were up upon it. And the skull is this almost bleached reddish color, like a very dark red. The bone is actually this color itself, and it looks wet, almost as if it was freshly ripped from a corpse. And there are 2 horns that are growing out of the side of the skull.
Oh, gee.
It's in its left hand. In its right hand, there is a piece of what looks like parchment paper made out of some unknown material. It doesn't look pleasant. There's just something off about it. And then in its forehead, you see a green glowing stone that's been hammered into its forehead. And it's about the size of your fist that's been hammered into its forehead. What would you like to do?
I'd probably head over to that statue or tomb.
Yes.
And I'd call over the lads. Gentlemen, this might be what we're looking for, I don't think. I haven't seen many dwarves carry skulls around. Just kind of pointing out the features that you explained.
Okay. And you do so you all see it.
Does the parchment paper look like it is like a holding material for the bone skull? It
just looks like a rolled up, almost like a scroll.
Can I examine that?
You want to touch it, Braggadine? Does Braggadine want to touch it?
I did until you said it like that.
Well, say it like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared now.
Do you want to touch the paper, Braggadine?
Oh, Braggadine's not very smart. And maybe not. Maybe.
So Braggadine's hand reaches up like he's going to grasp the paper, and then it kind of stops. Just thinking momentarily. You all see it. You all see him kind of maybe second guess what he's about to do.
What is this? Should I check this? Should I read this? Asking to the group.
I don't know. These things are always so enjoyable to get to know. I'll pull out my book.
Okay. You pull out the book.
Okay. Does it react in any way?
You pull out the book, and the book is humming. It's almost like moving itself. Are you going to unlatch it?
Yeah, I'm going to unlatch it.
Okay. You see Marius take the key, which I'm assuming is probably like draped around your neck, like on a necklace of sorts.
Yeah.
And you unlock the clasp, and as you do, the pages fly open, and that familiar inking page of blood inks itself, and there is this skull that opens up its mouth like its jaws wide and flies from your hand, Marius, and attaches itself to the paper, eating it almost, like eating it. Like the book is opening and closing, smacking it together. And you just hear this horrendous screech as it happens. I need all of you guys to make me a cool test.
Oh.
Seamus is at minus 20.
Would have failed anyway. I got a 54 out of 24.
So this is highly unnerving, Seamus, and you are very afraid of this book, this creature.
Of the book.
Marius rolled a 43 out of 60.
Okay, you're used to the shenanigans this book has, so you're not scared of it. How about Mr. Braggadine?
Mr. Braggadine is aware of the evil book and does not lose his cool because he rolled a 9 under 40.
Okay, good, very good. So Braggadine, you've seen Marius employ this book once or twice, but this is still an unnerving sight. Though Seamus is backing away, he looks very perturbed at what's currently happening. So because of that, Marius and Bragadine, I will give you guys opportunities to do something in this moment. Seamus, you unfortunately are afraid. The book is gobbling up the piece of scroll parchment.
If it's like gobbling it, I guess I'll try to. I guess let it finish gobbling, and then
Okay.
once it's done, I'll grab it. I guess.
Okay.
But while it's gobbling, do I notice any kind of like? Is there any kind of like bag or something, or like drapery that I can grab
no.
or something?
There's nothing of that. There's almost nothing. The chamber's almost completely barren, with the exception of just these pedestals, which also is unusual because usually there'd be elaborate tapestries or carvings. There'd be something. There'd be some more artistic design put into this. This seems very almost rushed. But yes, that's all there is.
I will take one of my hand axes.
Okay.
And I will try to kind of grab it reverse.
Okay.
And try to take the handle of it and put it into the eye socket of the skull.
Okay, that's fair.
To try to
Are you collecting the book before you do this?
Yes. This is
Okay.
after I collect the book.
All right, so the book stills itself, and I will say this: the door behind you is glowing very much brighter at this point.
Okay.
You grab a hold of the book, and it closes, and it like almost like lets out a sigh as it closes itself. Are you putting it up, or are you going to look at it?
I guess I'd look at it and see if it tells me anything different.
You open it up, and you just see like it inks itself. And as it does, it flips to a new page that is apparently there now. And you see a runic inscription across it that almost it's starting to transcribe itself into Reichspiel. It's kind of a jumbled mess. It doesn't make any sense yet. It looks like at some point it might. That's pretty much all you get from that.
Okay.
I'm assuming you put it up at this point?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
using the axe if I can.
Okay. Use the handle of the axe. Go ahead and make me a dexterity check.
Okay. That's a 10 out of 37.
Okay. Not bad at all. You managed to stick the handle into the socket and pull it free because it is clutched. But you strain, and I mean, you're strong as hell when you manage to pull it free without it sliding off of the axe and being thrown somewhere else in the room. Bragadine, would you like to do anything in this moment?
So the scroll was totally eaten by the
it's gone.
the book, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay. And Marius has just pried the skull thing out of the
Yes,
the
and it
dwarf-
looks like he's being
okay.
very careful not to touch it.
Weren't we supposed to destroy that? Isn't that what the dwarf said?
Well, that is true, but last time I tried to destroy one of these skulls, it chipped my pick.
Oh, you've seen this before.
Something similar. It only had one horn, though, mind you, and it was green. So, but very similar, very similar. Seamus was there.
Here, set it down. Let me see if I can smash it with my sword.
Oh, God.
I kind of give it a sigh. Look at Seamus like, should I do this? Do we have time for this? And then I
Bragadina waits, just staring.
Master Bragadine, perhaps you would try to get that green stone on the top of his head.
Oh, of course. Good idea.
Yes.
Good idea. Glad I thought of it. Thank you.
Of course.
Bragadine is going to take out his baby pick,
Okay.
and he is going to see if he can. I don't really don't know what I'm doing, but let me see if I can knock this out and just see if he can kind of pry it out.
Okay, go ahead and make me a weapon attack with your melee basic skill.
Oh, hell yeah. Good roll. Let me see. Melee basic. That would be 47. I rolled 18.
Okay. So you managed to hammer the pick into a slight gap that gives you an angle, a very good angle. Go ahead and make me a strength check. I'll give you a plus 20 on this because you did well on your initial attack.
Great lady. Help me. Oh, no. So, strength check, you said?
Yes.
Was it plus 20?
Yeah, plus 20.
I got a 52 under 55.
Okay, so just a success. You and it budges slightly, but doesn't come free.
I call out to Maris to help me.
Okay, you call out to Marius, and Marius, you're at the foot of this statue at this point, kind of with your back towards the doors, as you're moving towards Beno. Oh shit! I didn't think you guys were going to take this long, standing next to the door.
I'm trying to get out of here.
Oh no! What do you? No.
So Marius, yeah,
Does
it's
it
not
start to
opposed.
Pierce through? Okay.
Yes. What were you going to say?
Okay. Is it starting to pierce through? When I notice that it's starting to boil through, you know,
So here's
Star
what
Wars
happens.
style. I'm a minor.
You are a minor.
Know
You're a minor.
Explosives.
Give me a.
know.
I will let you give me an intuition test, Marius.
Okay. Plus anything?
No. Just an intuition test.
Oh,
That was awesome.
That is a 28 out of 34.
Okay, so one level of success. I will say you have enough wherewithal, enough time that you feel you can just intuit that something's happening behind you. And I'll say it gives you enough time to turn and see and not take a full blast in the back.
Ah!
As Beno is unsuspecting. And he's like trying to pry this damn gem out of the skull, out of the head of this dwarf. And Seamus, since you're the furthest away, there's no check needed. Since you were backing away scared, turns out this was a good thing. You see is cracks, very quickly form in the massive stone doors and then explode inward and just wave of heat washes over you. Marius, you're the closest.
All right.
So you did, however, pass your check, so it won't be completely unopposed. I'll need you to make me a dodge test.
Ooh, that's what I like to do. Dodge. I'm gonna reroll. I'm rerolling.
Okay.
It's my last one. It's 8 out of 26.
Okay, so that is one level of success.
Yeah, it's the best I can do, you know.
Okay, there's not much. There's not much you can do.
Yeah.
You're not a very
Not
agile guy.
No.
But you see it coming, and you lessen the force of the blow. The rock explodes inward, specifically the rock that's heading towards your direction, Marius, vaporizes as liquid hot magma pours into the chamber, and you try to dodge out of the way, and you don't get a full blast of the heated metal, but you get some. And not only do you get some, but the force that is coming out of this wall sends you flying into the room. You are going to, from the initial blast, you are going to take 9 wounds. You can reduce with your toughness, and you are currently on fire. You have,
Oh, yeah.
you have 2 flaming conditions, and you are launched 20 feet into the room,
Sure.
smacking into one of the dwarven pedestals, and you hit with such force, and there's magma still dripping off of you, that it we'll get to it on your turn, actually. As you smack into this, you're going to take an additional 5 wounds that you can negate with your toughness bonus, which for you negates it to 1. All right, so that's where we're going to leave you. You're technically prone, laying on top of this coffin of a sorts. I need everybody to roll me initiative.
Oh no.
Marius rolled a 7.
Okay.
Seamus got an 11.
Right. Got a 9.
A 9? So, okay, so that puts you...
I'm assuming the skull is somewhere right now, right?
It's somewhere.
Okay. I'm assuming
You
it
hope.
didn't hold on. Yeah. I'm assuming it flew somewhere. Or got melted.
Okay. So, first up is not any of you guys. Just to set the scene before you at this point, because we are definitely in combat. Seamus, you're going to be the first one that's going to have a chance to react. Bragadine is the closest, however, as the doors explode inwards and this magma starts billowing into the chamber. And I will say this, Bragadine, you're eerily close. You weren't as close as Marius, but you're close enough that it probably shot you off the top of trying to pry that stone out of the coffin of a sorts. And you're going to be flung 5 feet, well, actually 10 feet, into the nearest coffin. You'll take 6 wounds that you can reduce with your toughness bonus to whatever it is. You, however, are not lit on fire, like Marius was. but you are currently laying against it. Might have cracked the stone a little slightly. And you're seeing as the magma begins to settle into the room, and it's quickly cooling. And you see the mouth of that great demon engine outside glowing bright hot. And it appears to be flexing and moving as if it's alive. And there's something inside of this machine. And before you can do anything, though, Seamus, you're going to be up as you see the 2 ogres that are beaten and battered are whipped by the stunted forms, and they become charging over the quickly cooling magma into the room. They don't have any weapons in their hands, but they're still 10-foot tall creatures. And it looks like they're going to be setting upon Bragadine as soon as they get the chance. They're currently just within the doorway. What would you like to do, Seamus? You're first up. You are about 30 feet from the door. Marius is almost right next to you. He's about 10 feet from you to your left. And Bragadine is a few feet to your right and a little bit farther forward.
If I need to, I would move to my left or right, whichever direction Marius was.
Okay.
Could I use like a free action to pick him up if he was prone?
It's going to be an action if you want to pick him up.
Okay. Never mind. Then I'll just get like next to him. I'll
Okay.
look him over, see if he's okay.
Leave Beno
and
to
then,
die. That's fine.
If I'm within range, I'll pick the crossbow off my shoulder and take a shot at the ogre.
Okay. Do you care which one you're shooting at?
I guess if it matters, whichever one is like closest to him to like distract it.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a shot.
That is going to be a 33 out of the minus 20 of 36.
Whew, lucky bastard.
It's a crit.
It's a crit. Just barely, though. Just
Nice.
barely. Okay. All right. Roll me a D100.
14.
14. Okay. Roll me one more.
15.
That's not bad. It's not that bad, actually. What was your total damage with the crossbow?
I guess if it's considered as a success, it might be 10 total.
10?
It's 9 plus the success level.
All right. Where'd my pen go? There it is. Okay. So, you deal decent damage. Not bad. This, however, is an ogre.
Yes.
And you know, Seamus, that it's going to take a lot to put one of these down. And you send the bolt sailing towards this large creature, which actually I should have gave you a plus 10 on, so we'll add another success level to that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's 11 damage, and you take it in its left bicep, and it doesn't stick into the bicep. It takes like a big chunk out of the flesh, and you see that the creature is actively bleeding from the wound. And it kind of flinches back. But it still doesn't look that worse for wear. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Marius better get up. We got some ogres to kill. And that will be my turn.
Okay. You are standing there next to Marius by the
Burning.
the tombs.
The burning man.
Who is burning. Yes, he is burning. All right.
Smells like barbecue.
It is now, Bragadine, you see these lumbering 10-foot tall, really carved up ogres running towards you as fast as they can. They're about 5 feet from you, or 10 feet from you, Bragadine, but they are going to be closing quickly. One of them has a bolt sticking out of its arm now, where you're pretty sure Seamus just popped one of them. The one closest to you, that is. But Bragadine, you glance even further back as you hear a howling noise. As Seamus, you would see it a little bit better than Bragadine, as the demon engine, the mouth begins to open wider, and you see that there are writhing skulls and looks like shadowy forms inside the molten metal themselves beginning to coalesce. And you get the idea that something might be happening.
Oh my.
And it is pointing in your direction.
Mine? And me?
It's pointing at Seamus.
Oh, of course.
Somebody may or may not have blasphemed against the blood god. I'm just going to throw it out there.
What?
Just going to throw it out there. So, the demon engine, it looks like it's doing something, though it cannot do so in just one turn. So, there's that. You're lucky. However, the stunted figures begin coming into the room themselves. One of these Dawizar with their tusks and their kind of leathery straps that they're wearing. This one in particular has got a one-handed, like, wicked-looking hammer. Looks sturdy as hell, but it's got these weird barbs and things on it. Looks like it's not exactly completely practical, more for show than it is for actual combat. Though, when wielded by a dwarf of any kind, probably dangerous. And it's seeing the ogres stumbling upon the very small, weak-looking man. He's going to lock eyes onto Seamus, and more specifically, the burning Marius corpse further ahead. And he points and yells something in this guttural, debased version of Khazalid that none of you can understand, and would probably hurt a dwarf's ears to hear it spoken. And as he does, one of the ogres kind of and looks up and then looks in your guys' direction and begins moving that direction. It is now your turn, Bragadine. You're currently not engaged. You're about 10 feet from the nearest ogre that has a barb sticking out of its left arm, and it is bleeding from the wound. What would you
Where's
like
the
to
other
do?
ogre? Where's the other ogre?
The other one is storming off, it looks like, because its master commanded it to do something else.
Where are my colleagues? Am I behind them?
They're behind you and to your left.
We're going to back up.
You're going to back
and
up?
line up with the boy. We're going to run back and line up with the boys and ready ourselves for defense.
Okay. You only have 15 feet of movement. Well, actually, excuse me. You have 20 feet of movement because of your wounded leg.
Oh, that's right.
So you begin, you feel the pain in your leg as you begin backing away. Are you putting your back to the ogre?
No.
No, your shield facing him. You begin backing away.
Let me change this, actually.
Okay.
For the honor of Bretonia and the lady, I charge the ogre.
Yo.
Oh, he's gonna get smushed.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Nerius, there goes your friend.
Okay.
He's about to get smushed.
So Bragadine, you charge the ogre, and it's bleeding. You might be able to do something to this. You charge at it. For your courage, go ahead and give me a melee attack, basic melee attack, all of that, with a +10.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. So 37. I rolled a 46 under 57.
Okay, that's a degree of success.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled the same.
Ouch.
But I always give it to you guys in the unlikely event that we have something similar. So I'm going to say this is a hit.
The fortune of the lady.
It kind of, and that's the thing. This thing is unarmed, but it brings its hand down. Looks like it's going to absorb the impact of your sword on one of its arms, one of its forearms, but it doesn't bring it down quick enough. You rolled a 50. What was it?
I rolled a 46 under
46.
Yeah, it was 46 under like a 57.
46. Okay, so with a 46, you actually swing low and carve across the ogre's gut. That is going to be 7 points of damage, if I remember correctly from you.
Yeah, I've got a +4 and my strength bonus is 3, so yeah, 7.
Okay. 7 points of damage. Let's see here. Doesn't do as much damage as you'd hope, Bragadine. Yep. So you carve a slice out of its belly, and it looks disturbed that you touched its belly. Very, very upsetting. And it flinches back away from you. But would you like to do anything else, Bragadine?
All right, so that would be my action.
Yes,
I've already moved forward. What was that? 10 feet?
You've moved forward 10 feet, so you have 10 more feet of movement.
All right, and the boys are how far behind me?
They're very far behind you. I'm going to say at least Seamus is probably the closest, and he's probably at least somewhere between, I'll say 30 feet. I'll give you 30 feet.
I'm going to try and back up, but I'm going to see if the first opportunity between pedestals.
Okay,
I can jump in. I'm going to try and do that.
if you leave melee with this ogre, it's going to get a free attack against you. You can either attempt to dodge, or you can burn your momentum that you have now, and you can just disengage with it and run away. It's up to you. Now you only get 10 feet though.
I raise my sword up to its face and say, "Take that! More is coming."
It is 10 feet
done.
tall, so you point it up as
That's
high as you can. So, yes, and you shout at it angrily. Got it. So that is the end of your turn. It is now another Dawizar comes stumbling in. This one has a whip about his hands, and in his it's actually about his waist. It's kind of tethered to his waist, and on his back he has a large contraption that, seeing you, his tusked mouth, he kind of opens up a sly grin and unslings a massive. What does it look like? Some kind of rifle? But the barrel is very, very wide. And you recognize it as some kind of really disturbing-looking blunderbuss. And points it at Marius and Seamus's direction. So let's see here. Oh, shit. Okay. So...
Where the hell is Drogor? You know,
he points it in your direction and and pulls the trigger, and you see just this almost like this skull-like grin inside of the weapon, kind of open its mouth, and a blast of shrapnel comes launching out of the blunderbuss at the two of you.
Oh, nice knowing you guys.
Does it hit any of those fucking ogres?
It does, however, it does not hit the ogre. I'm sorry. Because he, in his zeal, he didn't quite aim properly. And it blasts just barely over the tops of your heads. Looks like he might have been just on the edge of his range. And so he kind of huffs, and looks like he's going to begin attempting to reload his blunderbuss. And that's the end of his turn. So, that brings us up to the ogres.
I got this.
Oh, shit. I hope you do.
Do I get a turn? I thought they already beat on...
Oh, shit, yeah. My bad. It's Marius' turn right before we start.
The hell, bro?
Marius, you're burning. Let me roll your damage real quick.
All right.
You take 5 wounds that you can negate with your toughness bonus. And you're free to take your turn.
I'd like to use a resolve to shake off one of the burning conditions.
Okay. So you only have 1 burning condition now. It's at this point, Marius, I would like to point something out to you.
Okay.
You're not going to like it.
I am assuming I won't.
Your pick. In the moment of your dodge, you were attempting to shield yourself from the blast, and it looks like it has melted.
You son of a bitch.
It's in your hands, melted. Just sitting there. What would you like to do,
What is Marius without his pick?
Yeah, exactly. What am I without my pick, bro? You know?
What would you like to do?
I'm pissed. You know, I'm upset. You know, things aren't going the way I want them to. I am going to stand up.
Okay. As you stand, make me a perception test.
Okay. That's a 20 out of 50.
Okay. All right. So, Marius, as you begin to stand, not as you completely stand, your pick is melted, and you're very upset. You kind of toss it to the side. It's ruined. You place your hand down, and as you do, you notice that the tomb that you landed upon is cracked. The metal itself apparently is melted, where some of the magma has burned through. And something catches your eye, Marius.
Oh.
As
What is it?
begin to stand.
Oh.
A skeletal dwarf hand reaches out and grabs you and pulls you inside, and you die. No. So...
Praise Sigmar, he's dead.
What happens is...
Fuck you, Seamus!
The surface of the metal has boiled and fallen away, revealing a pick as black as the night sky. There are currently red runes glowing upon the haft. The head of the pick, as you reach down and this is meant for you. You grab a hold of it and you feel energy surging through you. You pull it free of the statue and you can see the head resembles that of a rat with curved horns, with its mouth snarling. And the point of the pick is being thrust through its open mouth out the front of it.
Oh, nice.
And its eyes are glowing
That sounds pretty badass.
Deep scarlet red. And you now have a magical weapon, Marius Wolf.
Hell yeah, bro. It's only been 40 episodes.
It's been 31. It's been 31.
Well, does it take any corruption from it? That's all.
You don't take any corruption from it.
Ah, what the fuck?
It has the same stats as your normal pick, except it also has armor piercing. And this is all that you know of right now. It may or may not have more hidden characteristics. So it also negates 1 point of armor whenever you connect with it.
Okay. But it's just, it's pick 6, right?
I believe they're 5.
Yeah, they're
I'll
5.
re-look it up. I want to say it's 5. Hold, please.
Yeah, they're 5 because I have strike, mighty blow.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why I
yeah,
get 12. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 5 plus it has armor piercing.
Okay.
So there you go. So Marius, you have your new pick before you curse my name.
Yeah. I do.
What would you like to do?
I can die happy. So I'll take my pick. And if I see the churning death beam,
You do.
that's
You see it,
Head
and
my
it's
way.
pointing in your direction, specifically at Seamus, but you're next to Seamus. So,
yeah. I'm gonna try to move away from Seamus.
yes,
And,
that's probably wise.
what?
There is an ogre heading in your direction, and then, of course, further past that ogre, you do see Bonneau currently engaged in a mortal death match with another.
I just see this ogre holding its arm, and then this small man pointing a sword up at his face,
Exactly.
shouting something in Bretonian. You know,
A small, proud man.
of course, glorious. And if I can move to this kind of out of the way, if there's kind of an out of the way to the side that I can move where I don't think I'd be hit by this blast and still attack this ogre that's charging, I'd like to do that.
I will say this: you could probably interpose yourself between the churning death machine and the ogre, like on the other side of him. He was large enough that
Okay.
it'd probably give you full cover from if it decided to erupt.
Okay, that's what I'll do. I'll give him a good old
Give him a good whack.
kick.
All right,
give
make
him a
me
whack.
a attack. He's going to try to defend himself.
Do I get charging bonus?
Yeah, I'll give you. Well, the way the coffins are set up, probably not.
Can't do it.
Yeah, you
Okay.
wouldn't have a straight run,
All
unless you want to make me an athletics test.
No.
Okay.
Don't want to try that. That is going to be a 34 out of 70.
Let's see here, Marius. You're not going to like this.
Damn it!
Rolled critical on my
Damn it!
defense.
Oh,
The ogre is unarmed,
Yeah.
Not going.
breaks it, breaks the
Rough.
pick.
so you just get your new pick.
This is bullshit.
You come charging at this ogre.
Oh.
Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh man, this is gonna be awesome.
Oh, I can't wait.
Let's see here.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Oh man. Whew. Let's let me see where this is. Oh god. It's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, gee. Thanks.
You don't have any critical wounds right now, do you? Okay, so I'm supposed to minus 40 from that, which is a good thing.
Good.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so Marius, this ogre sees you charging it, and it's used to acts of pain and defiance, and it can almost feel the lash of one of its masters nearby, and squares up with you as you come charging with your new pick. And as you do, you have your pick overhead, and it just giant meaty fist hits you square in the chest.
Tarkek style.
Tarkek style. You take. Oh shit! You take 9 wounds with its fist.
Oh. All right.
That bypass everything because it's a critical hit.
Yep.
And it wrenches one of your shoulders in the process. Only for the next round. So one of your shoulders kind of pops out of place for a moment, and when it does, you drop whatever you're holding, which is your pick,
Damn it!
which falls at your feet as you kind of stumble back. You still have your free action.
Okay. I can't pick up my pick.
You can pick it up with one hand, but you have one round where one of your arms is useless.
Okay. I would like to use my last potion and heal myself.
Okay, so you with your good arm. So I'm assuming.
My good arm.
So are you going to pick your pick up, or are you going to take your potion?
I'll pick my pick up first.
Okay,
So I guess
you
I'll do
grab-
that.
you go ahead and grab
yeah.
your. Yeah, you go ahead and reach down and grab a hold of your pick and kind of try to hold it with one hand. It's much heavier than your original pick. This magical weapon is much heavier. But I mean, Marius' wolf is still strong. So is that going to be the end of your turn?
My glorious turn. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
It's
So that
done.
leads us to Seamus McCready. You see Marius charge away from you. You can still see the boiling cauldron that is the demon engine ahead of you, bubbling. Looks like it might erupt at any moment. A shot was taken at you. And, yeah, you do see Marius engaged with an ogre nearby, and it looks like he is not doing so hot.
All
What
right.
would you like to do?
Knowing my adventuring expertise now, seeing the guy with the blunderbuss, I will shift my attention to him,
Mm-hmm.
and I will pop off another crossbow shot at him
Okay.
right now.
Go ahead and make me an attack.
All right, that is going to be a 21 out of. It should break even, correct? If it's a large creature and I have one
Oh, he's not large.
level of success. Oh, he's not large? Okay.
No,
Then
he's
it will
small.
be-
Well, I mean, he's not technically small. He's like normal size as far as mechanically. So,
then
yeah,
that
you have
case-
one level of success, so it breaks even.
Yeah. Well, it would be a 46 because I'm still at minus 20.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
So instead of just a minus 10. So 40,
Yeah.
21 out of 46.
Okay. So, yeah, that definitely hits. Let me see where that hits at. 21. Okay. All right. You take him in his left arm. Is that 12 wounds from you?
31, 41. 11 wounds.
11 wounds? Okay.
Yes.
And it looks like it has this, I mean, even though there's like rope leather kind of armor on it, since it was an odd hit, it doesn't bypass the leather armor, so it does hit some armor. And the Dawi flinches away from you. It's pulls back a little bit, but it's still looking pretty healthy. Not gonna lie, even with taking 11 wounds.
Seamus will sigh
Okay.
and contemplate on pulling that rifle out on his next turn.
Okay then. Are you going to do any movement? You going to try to take cover or anything?
Yeah, if there is cover behind like one of the
One of the
coffins.
tombs. Yeah. Do you want to be at the
Yeah.
one? Is there? Do you want to be what? Where in the room would you like to be?
I guess if there's like one I can take cover in front of, like somewhere, somewhat in front of, I don't want to back up any further.
Okay. Yeah. You can even duck behind the one that Marius was collapsed on top of easily enough. Just
All
kind
right,
of put
that
your
works.
back to it. Kind of glance around the side so you still know what's going on. And that will be the end of your turn. So that brings us to the demon engine, which is currently, you can see the guttural splashes and the skulls wreathing inside of it begin to flare even hotter and they're coming to a crescendo, but nothing happens yet. And that brings us to the next, the Dawizar with the hammer, who sees this small Bretonian man fighting this ogre, and just looks kind of at the pathetic attempts, and sees the one man with the very large magical pick as more of a threat. But then he sees one Seamus McGreedy, who has popped off a shot at one of his Dawi brethren, though probably doesn't care for him anyway. But regardless, sees you as more of a threat than any of the others.
Oh.
And is going to reach down into a satchel at his side, remove a small cylindrical object.
Oh, no.
He presses something on the side of it, and you hear a mechanical whirling sound, and then he throws it in your direction. Seamus? I need you to make me a dodge, Seamus.
Oh.
At minus 20, because you're very exhausted.
I'm going to re-roll that. That was an 81. Ooh, yeah, this is good. So I just rolled, that's an 8.
Okay, out of?
So it's you said a dodge?
Yes.
So a minus 20 puts it at a 7, but I have 2. Can I use my success levels?
You can use your
All right.
success levels.
So it breaks even, so it'll be an 8 out of 27.
Okay, good. Okay, that's a good thing, Seamus. As you see this coming just out of the corner of your eye, and you see like the tusks are kind of moving back and forth underneath this kind of charcoal like beard that's moving, and it says something, and as it does, one of the other Dawizar with the blunderbuss kind of goes to move behind cover as it lobs this device in your direction, and you get the idea you should do the same. And so you almost jump to the next coffin over and manage to dodge to the side and press your back against it as there is a cacophonous boom where you were just crouched down. The coffin that you were next to almost disintegrates. The one you're behind is moved and shifted and is beginning to crumble from the force of the impact. And there's this massive billowing cloud of smoke that is just wafting across that part of the room. And you do suffer a deafened condition.
All right.
So you cannot hear anything right now, Seamus.
All right.
All right. And you luckily did not take any damage.
Yeah.
So, it is now Bragadine. It is your turn. You're currently engaged with... Well, actually, this ogre didn't try to kill you yet. I've almost forgot.
Oh, you can forget. It's cool.
It's cool. Bragadine, defend
go
yourself. Defend yourself,
Bragadine
good
will.
sir.
He's ready.
Now, I will say this. You've never fought a large creature before. You're at a minus 20 if you choose to block. Or you can just do a straight dodge. Now, I will say this. You have a plus 20 with your shield, so it negates the minus 20. So you just have a straight roll, a straight whatever your weapon skill, plus you have 1 point of momentum, so you're at a plus 10 total.
We're going to block this with the shield.
Okay.
Pull our shield up. We're ready.
Okay, make me a block.
Okay, and that's just melee basic.
It is, melee basic.
Okay, plus 20 for the shield, and another plus 10 for...
And the minus 20, so you're just at plus 10.
So just plus 10, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't... Uh-oh.
Well, you never know.
Oh, wait, I got a 47 out of 57.
Okay. So
It's a success.
It's a success. So Bragadine, you lucky bastard. I didn't roll well for my
I thought
ogre.
you were going to say, like, I rolled a crit.
I didn't roll well for the ogre. And you almost dexterously, Almost, but not quite. Bring up the shield and at just the right angle that the giant meaty fist pounds on it. And though it doesn't deflect away, it pushes you back about a foot or so, but doesn't deal any significant damage. Apparently, whatever the shield is made out of absorbs most of the impact and prevents your arm from being crushed in the process. And that is the end of the ogre's turn. It is your turn, Bragadine.
All right, so there was a huge explosion behind me, right?
There was. You have no idea what's going on over there. There's been 2 explosions, actually, as the blunderbuss also went off as well. But you're engaged in mortal combat with an ogre at the moment. Now, you do have 2 levels of momentum on your side now.
We're going for it. We're not cowering out now.
Make an attack.
Oh, shit. All right, what's a fail?
Well,
Even with
how bad?
Okay, so let me see. I rolled a 93. And it would have been...
Out of?
let me see. So
you have a plus 20.
67.
Okay, can you re-roll it?
I don't got any more fortune points.
You're out of fortune points. Okay.
Yep.
So, Bragadine, you swipe out, and the ogre doesn't even move. And as you swipe out, you once again hit its flesh and its gut, and it doesn't even pierce. You just kind of bounce off. You're like, oh shit! And it just looks down at you, grinning as your momentum has been spent. Your momentum is gone, and the ogre is looking down at you hungrily, like it might try to bite off one of your hands. And that is the end of your turn, Bragadine, unless you want to try to run away.
Yes.
It will get a free attack on you if you run away.
Nah, we're fighting to the death.
Okay.
We're sticking it out.
That's
Like a knight on the quest.
Exactly. Like a knight on the quest, indeed. So, Bragadine, you take a gulp and prepare yourself for what's about to happen. That is the end of your turn. It is now the blunderbuss wielding Dalwizar's turn. He's trying to reload. And he's getting there. He's not quite there yet. His arm still is a little hurt from where Seamus shot him. And he's in the process. But he's hunkering down for cover while he's doing so. Behind one of the tombs. Behind one of the coffins. And that is the end of his turn. So Marius Wolf, it is now yours.
Can I use my resolve to take away my fire damage?
I forgot about burning you. You take 7 wounds from the fire that you can reduce with... I rolled high on that one. You can reduce with your toughness bonus. Yeah.
All right.
Then you can use your next point of resolve to kind of shrug off the flames. You kind of... the flames die down across your body.
Oh, good.
Some of the liquid metal spills off you. That's what was burning you.
That's good. Do I have use of my shoulder?
At the end of this turn, you do. So currently, you don't.
Then I will use my free action to take my last potion.
Okay. All right. How are you going to do that with one arm?
I don't know.
Are you holding your pick?
I am holding my pick.
Explain to me how you would hold your pick and take your potion with your one good arm.
That's true. I don't think I can fucking do anything, man. I'm staying there then. I'll just chill.
You can. I will say I will let you make me an attack if you want with your pick, but it will be it will be without your bonuses for two-handed.
Okay. All right, I'll do that then. Are you sure?
We'll make this act as a one-handed pick, so it'll be like instead of a +5, it'll be a +4.
Okay. That is a 41 out of 53.
Yeah, that definitely hits. So you, with one hand, you kind of choke up on it, so it's like a hand pick for now. You kind of rotating your shoulder, feeling it like it's going to pop into place soon. And you take a swing towards the ogre. You clip its right arm as it's trying to defend itself. How much damage is that from you total?
If it's a 4, it's that would be 11 plus 1, so 12.
12 damage. Oof, man, that's a hearty blow.
Yeah, strong lad.
You are fighting an ogre, though, and it takes it in stride. Flinches back and opens up its mouth and just kind of bellows at you. And is that going to be it for your turn, Marius?
Yes, that will finish my turn.
Okay. Next turn, you will have use of your arm.
All right.
Brings us to the top of the round with the ogre that you're fighting, Marius.
Oh, joy.
And it's going to try to kill you now. As
joy.
you've wounded it, I need you to roll some defense, Marius.
Okay, how should I do this? Can I dodge, I guess?
You can either dodge or you can attempt a block. It'll just be without your two-handed bonus.
At minus 20.
Yes, at a minus 20 still.
Yeah. Then I'll try to block.
Okay.
That will be a 15 out of 63 if I use my momentum.
Okay, that's fine. And you bring the haft of the pick up to try to shield it away, trying to shelter your body from the vicious blow that's coming. There's a big left meaty hook coming towards you, and I mean the fist is about the size of your chest. And you're strong. Marius is a strong man. And you bring the pick across, and as you do, you connect with the ogre's knuckles. And it flinches away from the impact and grabs a hold of its hand as it actually takes damage because I critically failed on my test.
Yeah.
And you actually do damage to his fist. So he actually takes damage from this. And next round, he will have to go last.
All right.
Okay, so you have more momentum. So that is the end of his turn. Now it is the other ogre's turn that I forgot to do this quickly last time. Bragadine, I need you to defend yourself, sir, as this thing's going to try to make do on its promise of biting your arm off.
I am ready.
Go ahead and roll
Going to get a
defense.
face full of shield. Oh, yeah. All right, hold on. That's 8 out of 47.
Okay, and it does. It lunges down this massive head, and you bring the shield across, and sure enough, the teeth clamp down, and you feel pressure, but the shield doesn't buckle. It's almost as if this thing is unbreakable. And you can write down
Just
on your
like my
character
resolve.
sheet that your dwarven shield is in fact unbreakable.
Oh, shit.
That is
That's
one of its
awesome.
traits.
Nice.
And it clamps down on this shield, and then you not a strong man, but it doesn't feel any give, so it lets go, and it looks a little disturbed at what's just happened.
I
And you
spit in its
successfully
face.
defended yourself. You spit in its face? That's fantastic. Big glob of spit comes across its face. It is now Seamus McCready. It is now your turn.
All right. So,
You're currently deafened. You can use a resolve
Yes.
point if you want to make it go away.
I don't see it. I assume it'll go away like after a round.
It will go away after a round, but you are currently deafened still. So you
Yeah, I
can't
don't-
hear
I
anything
don't-
right now.
I don't think I need to hear anything really. I see everything happening in front of me.
You don't see everything happening in front of you because you're currently in a cloud of billowing smoke from where the
Jeez.
grenade exploded nearby.
All right. Then I will move out of this cloud of smoke.
Okay, how will you find your direction? Let's see. Make me an intuition test, Seamus.
All right. All right. Intuition. That is a 21.
Mm-hmm.
And intuition is 41.
Okay, so you have a good idea of what direction you should be heading in. What would you like to do? Are you going to try to move towards Marius's direction, or are you going to try to move away further back into the room?
Knowing that there was a guy who chucked a grenade in front of me, I probably would move a little backwards.
Okay, you move back, and this cloud is still obscuring your vision. You can't hardly see through it. If you move back, I'd say probably 10, 15 feet, you'd be able to see Marius engaged in combat with this ogre still. He looks like his arm isn't quite working. One of his arms is kind of limp at its side for now. And that's pretty much all you'd be able to see on that side.
All right.
Would you like to move further to the side to see more?
Yeah, I'd like to. I imagine myself. I like step backwards, like move to like the left or something.
Yeah. So actually, you would be on the farthest left of the wall if you're facing the front door. So you begin moving the other direction, kind of towards Marius, but you're further back away. I'm going to say you're probably 20. No, you'd be almost 30 feet away from Marius, and you move almost behind him in that direction. And you have a better view of the battlefield at this point. So what exactly would you like to do? And then we'll go into specifics. There's a lot of moving parts right now.
If possible, I would like to, I unslinged the crossbow, so I probably just set it down.
Okay.
In front of me, and then pull the rifle.
Okay,
across
and
my
I'm
back.
going to say that you're behind another one of the coffins. So
yeah, I imagine I just let the crossbow on top of it or on the ground next to it or something.
Okay, you just drop the crossbow at your feet, and you unsling the Thunderer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what would you like to do with the Thunderer?
I would like to take a shot at the one that Marius is fighting.
The ogre?
Yes.
Okay, you level the Thunderer at the massive hulking ogre that's towering over Marius Wolf. You brace yourself. Go ahead and make me a shot, Seamus.
All right.
You do get an automatic because of the nature of this weapon. You get a +10, because it is a finely crafted weapon, and you get a +10 to your aim.
Shit. Oh, there's a lot of positives happening here.
Yeah, plus your momentum, any momentum that you have.
I just rolled a 4.
Okay, give me the total, and then we'll go from there.
So it is my momentum will put me, including the -20, my momentum will put me at a 66, and then that extra 10 will put me at a 76.
Yeah. Well, basically, we just tack on an additional wound. You don't actually add 10.
Okay.
So we'll put him. So we'll say 7 levels of success. Plus, it does 10 damage base. Is that what I remember correctly?
Yes, it does 10 base.
10 plus the 1 shot, so that's 11. So is that 18?
That is 18.
Plus, there's one secret fact that you didn't know until you pulled the trigger, Seamus. Seamus, I'll need you to make me an athletics test.
Oh, jeez. Oh, it's going to be close. That is a 29 out of...
This is just a straight test, -20.
Okay. Straight test, -20, a 29 out of 27.
Your athletics is
sorry.
that
No,
high?
yeah, 29 out of 17.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, a failure. So you're not prepared. You've never shot this thing before. You, boom! I mean, it's deafening, the crack that comes out of this, and now you know that it has the impact trait as well. You can write that down. So whenever you roll to hit, if you hit the last number on the die, so in this case the 4, is added to the damage total. So you just did 22 wounds with your rifle.
Wow. Holy shit.
But you are knocked prone in the process because you weren't prepared for the kick. So you boom, and you fall down onto your back and do massive damage to this ogre. Let me tally it up. Okay. Man. So, Marius, you hear this boom, sickening thud, and this plate-sized wound appears in this ogre's chest. And you see his eyes just glaze over, and he stumbles backwards, falling smooth dead.
Shit.
So Seamus, you still have that's going to be all your action and your movement. So you are currently on your ass. So we'll leave it at that. It is now the Demon Engine's turn. And it is going to, let's see. If my thing would stop messing up. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yes. It's brimming. It's coming to fruition. Finally. As you see the bubbling, molting metal churning inside of it begin to spill out of the open mouth, kind of spilling over the jaw. And suddenly there's a sucking sound as it gets a little bit colder, and then and a gout of molten metal is shot into the room.
Oh, shit.
Unfortunately, Marius Wolf, you are standing in its line of fire as it's shooting at Seamus, but he's behind you.
Thanks, Seamus.
Seamus is also behind cover, so he'll get a cover bonus. Marius does not.
Bragadine's bravery is paying off.
So, Marius, I will give you a dodge, Marius. So go ahead and make me a dodge. You can add your success levels.
Okay. That is a 19 out of 26 plus 2 levels of success is 46.
Okay. Okay, so 19, 29, 30. Okay, so 2 levels of success. All right. Because you see it coming and it's open to you, that is just enough to avoid being roasted alive. So you dodge to the side, Marius, as this liquid gout of metal comes streaming. It ignites and begins melting the ogre corpse in front of you, which probably shielded you a little bit from the blast, and you dodge and tumble. Which direction would you like to dodge towards? Towards Beno or towards one of the dwarves, one of the chaos dwarves?
Probably towards Beno.
Okay, so you dodge to your right, and you kind of stumble in behind Beno. You're about 10, 15 feet from him, behind one of the tombs, and you come to rest. Seamus, however, is on his ass. Now you do have cover, Seamus, but the gout of molten metal spills over the top of said cover and falls upon you.
Ah!
Dealing...
Damn, that moved quick.
9 wounds.
Oh.
And you are lit on fire. You have 2 flaming conditions.
Oh, shit.
And you hear Seamus scream out in pain as he's encased in molten metal for the time being until he can slug it off, hopefully. That's the end of the Demon Engine's turn. Let's move on to the next. So the next is the Dawizar with the hammer. Feeling the heat and seeing the satisfaction of his devious device lay about its business, he will cackle with glee. That's a very throaty cackle. And he will see Marius, currently unengaged with anybody, and charge in his direction. Though he has short, spindly legs, more trunk-like, and there's currently a moat of burning metal in the way, so he can't get to you, Marius. So he gets to the edge of the trail of liquid magma that's cooling. It'll take a turn to cool, and is just kind of glaring at you over the heat, kind of shouting at you. That's all he can do. So that leaves us to Bragadine. It is now your turn.
All right. I thought the ogre went ahead of me.
It did already.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to attack again.
Okay, make me an attack.
Do I have momentum for blocking
Yes.
this attack with the shield? Okay.
Yes, you do.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's a 22. I know that's a crit right there.
Yes,
That's
it
right.
is.
22. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
22 out of 57, but 22.
Yes. All right. That's Bragadine's first critical hit in a melee attack. So go ahead and roll me another D100.
Okay. 17.
17. Okay, roll me one more.
90.
90?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Did you cut his pee-pee?
That's pretty damn good. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I feel energized. My prayers to the lady are paying off.
Okay, so how much damage is that for you? Can you add it up real quick? The 22. How many success levels was that for you?
Okay, so that was 22 out of 57. So
Out
was
of
that
57? 22.
Yeah, 3.
Okay, so that's 10 damage total.
Okay.
Bypasses. Man, this ogre's hurt. Why is this ogre so hurt?
That is right. He is hurt.
Yeah, shot by
Oh.
Seamus.
Oh, that's right. Seamus shot him.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the first shot.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you do significant damage, Bragadine. The ogre is currently bleeding as well from the shot from Seamus. And it reaches out with one of its giant meaty paws to grab a hold of you. And as it does, you just sweep your blade across its hand.
That's
And
right.
you see a giant digit detach from its hand as you sever a finger. And it just, and blood is spurting out of it, spurts all across you. And he is currently bleeding and is stunned for the next round as he's holding his wounded form. And he just kind of, He's still standing, barely. He looks like he's on death's door.
I shout, I've got 9 more to take from you.
Indeed you do. Is that the end of your turn, Bragadine?
No, I'm standing my ground. I'm killing this ogre.
Okay. That brings us to the next Dawi's turn, who finally reloads his blunderbuss. And as he does, he glances up and over. He can't see Seamus. Can't see Marius, really.
Oh.
He sees Beno.
Oh.
And he sees the ogre, and he doesn't give a shit about that ogre. So he's going to take fire at Bragadine. Oh, Bragadine, I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry.
This is all right.
The Dawi shouts something to his companion, the Dawi Czar does, and the other one kind of glances over his shoulder and ducks slightly, and you hear boom as hot shrapnel is shot in your direction, Bragadine. Yeah, you don't get a save from this, unfortunately. It just happens.
Oh.
Yep.
It just hits due to the distance. So you take 10 wounds.
Toughness bonus?
You can reduce it with your toughness bonus.
Okay.
It takes you kind of in the chest arm area. Just plasters you. And you flinch away. The ogre also takes it and dies immediately as he's plastered with hot metal. And he falls over dead in front of you. And you lose all your momentum. And you stumble backwards, but I'm assuming you're still standing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's good. And that's all he can do. He'll duck back down and begin trying to reload his weapon once again. And that brings us to one Marius Wolf.
All right.
What are you going to do, Marius?
Is the magma cooled?
At the end of the round, it will cool. So after your turn, it cools.
Okay.
So it's
I can't
currently
get to
still
anyone right
molting
now.
hot.
Okay. The way I've envisioned, I can't. Is there anyone I can move up to attack?
Here's what you can do. You could possibly jump over the magma, maybe using one of the coffins with an athletics test. It's about a 5-foot wide piece of molten metal. It's just a straight line straight to where Seamus was.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to lurch over the top of it, you could, and then you would be within range of the Dawizar with the hammer.
Okay. There's no other one else I can attack. No other Dawizar?
The only things standing currently are the 2 Chaos Dwarves, and of course the Demon Engine at the front of the room, which you're not anywhere close enough to.
Yeah.
And Bragadine, he's still standing.
Bragadine is still very much standing.
Yes, he is. Is the other Dawizar past the lava as well too?
He's further back with the one with the blunderbuss. Yeah, he's going to be about 30 feet from you. The one with the hammer is only within 10 feet or so. He's just on the other side of the magma.
I just had to make that jump though.
You'd have to make a jump.
I got 40 movement. Can I make it to the one with the blunderbuss?
He's on the other side of the molten metal. They're both on the other side.
They're both on the side. Okay, that's what I was like.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will... is my shoulder working now?
Yes, your shoulder is back in place. Yes.
Okay. I'll take a free action and take that potion,
Okay, go ahead. You gain your toughness bonus and wounds. Just take it down,
All right.
slough it away.
Write that down. All right. I guess I will try to jump over this lava.
Okay, make me athletics tests.
All right. Oh yeah, that's a 16 out of 26.
Okay, so you jump on top of one of the de facto coffins that is quickly beginning to melt, and you can see the exposed kind of desiccated remains underneath. And you plant your foot and jump across, feeling the heat underneath you, bubbling, spurting metal that is beginning to cool. And you launch right into the unsuspecting Dawizar that did not think that you would be crazy enough to jump across this piece of boiling metal. Go ahead and make me a weapon attack. I will give you an additional plus 10.
All right. Did that dodge before? Did that count as a...
Yes, that will count.
Okay. That is a 68 out of 100.
68. Holy shit. And it still hits.
Yeah.
Because he did not roll well enough to defend himself. He brings the hammer up and you... Boom! That hits him square in the body. How much damage is that?
That's 3 plus 12. So
15?
15. I don't know if he's armor.
Yeah, I'll do all that math on my own.
Oh no! Wait, it's an 8, so that would be 20.
20? Oh yeah,
yeah,
because of the
68.
Yep. Of course it is. Of course it is.
Yeah.
You bring it into his chest and it digs in deep. Almost it goes into almost to the horns of the snarling rat. Just boom, hammers in, and he stumbles back, holding his chest still standing. Apparently, these Dawizar are pretty hardy.
Pretty hardy.
You did bypass his leather armor that he's wearing, the leather tattered armor, but he's a dwarf. stalwart individual takes that 20 damage and is still standing.
Woo! All right.
He pulls back, surprised and shocked. Would you like to do anything else?
If I can kind of position myself in between him and the guy with the blunderbuss, I will do so.
Yes,
Not,
that's
I'll stay
easily done as far as you can.
Okay.
Okay. And then we're at the top of the round. So, top of the round, Seamus McCready, you take 4 wounds as you are burning. You can negate your toughness bonus, so you take a minimum of 1.
All right.
And you're free to do as you wish now.
All right. I'd like to burn one of those with a resolve.
Okay. You still have 1 burning condition, but yeah, you kind of roll off. I'm assuming you're going to roll out of the molten metal.
Yes.
You lose 1 of those. Are you going to stand?
Yes.
Okay, you stand up. You still have some of it clinging to your body, and it's burning. It hurts bad. What would you like to do?
Did I lose my momentum?
Yes, you did. You lose your momentum, and you lost your crossbow as it's boiling in the molten metal.
No!
Yep. You sat it on the ground, unfortunately.
The Thunderer has a reload of 4 success levels.
It does.
Which I think I had like 5 or 6 success levels on my last turn.
You have to roll for it. You don't get to. Okay. It's the reload, just like the old school with your crossbow, and it takes an action to reload.
All right, then I will attempt to do so.
Okay, now these don't factor in success levels when you are reloading. They don't factor in momentum, if that makes any sense.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're still at a minus 20 for this test.
There's not really much I can do unless I can use like my healing to like negate the other burning condition.
You can make an endurance test to try to shrug off, as an action, to try to shrug off the flames if you want.
Okay, I will do that. My endurance is pretty high.
Go ahead and make me an endurance test.
We'll do that instead. That is going to be a 15 out of 45.
Okay, so yeah, you roll around a little bit more and get the rest of the metal off of you that was clinging to your body, and you stand up. You're no longer burning. That was your action. You still have your free action.
Let's see.
You might have more weapons on you than just the crossbow that's now gone.
I do. Yeah. You know what? I'll probably just like move to away from the molten lava and see if I can get into another advantageous position for a shot.
You can easily get up. You'll get up a few feet and probably take. I'm assuming you're probably going to want to take cover behind another one of those tombs.
Yes.
All right. You put your back against the tomb and prepare yourself. It is now the Tomb Ninja's turn. It begins charging once again. You hear it begin to suck in more as it is brimming with pleasure at what it did before. And then it is the dwarf that is fighting Marius Wolf. The hammer is lolling in its hand as it's with its other hand, it's clutching at the massive wound you put in its chest. And with a fury, it snarls at you and is going to try to kill you, Marius. Make a defending roll.
Oh. All right. Building. Oh, that's a 20 out of 100.
Isn't that a critical hit for you?
Yes, it is.
How would you like to kill this chaos dwarf, Marius Wolf?
I like to just kind of sidestep him and just kind of like take the butt end of my pick and just push him into the molten lava, you know?
Okay. It is cooling, but I will say it's still hot.
Yeah.
So you step to the side and kind of, with a smack to the back of his skull, you may have cracked it in the process. Okay. Crack, and he falls into the quickly cooling metal and it begins sticking to him, and he just kind of stops gurgling and just dies as he becomes one with the floor. So there is that. Let's get rid of him. Let's get him out of initiative now. Why not? Why not? Bragadine, it is your turn. The molten metal has cooled. There's a ogre corpse at your feet. There is a fiend that shot you with a blunderbuss 30 feet from you, cowering behind one of the tombs. You saw him. Now, there is a haze in the air around him where he's been shooting off the blunderbuss, so you don't have a really good vision on him, but you get an idea of where he's at if you so choose to charge him.
Can I look around for a way out?
Sure, make me a perception test. This will be your action if you want to do this.
All right. It was 30. That's fine. That's fine. Because I've got a plan here. 36.
Out
Out of 49. 36 out of 49.
Okay. So you glance around and you see the massive hole that the demon engine is sitting in. It's on the outside of, but its mouthy barrel is sticking through the front. That's obviously a way out. You glance back towards the door that you entered through. You might be able to figure out how to open that, but as of right now, the only obvious one is the hole that your enemies came through.
All right. And then because I'm injured, I can move 20 feet. How far is the dwarf loading the blunderbuss? You said about 30 feet?
He's 30 feet from you. And he's across the cooling metal, but it is cool at this point. So if you want to run across it, you can.
All right. I'm going to actually run, kind of hide behind one of the pedestals.
Okay.
Kind of move, like not necessarily, but just to get out of his line of sight.
Okay.
But I'm going to shout, "Boys, we've got to make it through there. We've got to fight the engine."
Okay.
That's my free action. That's it. Yeah.
All right. And you crouch down behind one of the pedestals closer to the opening, I'm assuming.
Yes. As close to them as I can.
All right. That is fair. Next, it is the dwarf that has the blunderbuss. He can't seem to reload his weapon. He's currently and then he glances up over his shoulder, seeing Bragadine move up just briefly, sees the furious-looking Marius Wolf, and is not liking his chances. And he's going to make a run for it. And as he runs past the demon engine flares as its captor gets a little too close. And the barrel moves on its own accord downwards, and as the Dawizar it doesn't realize it's happening, he glances up and he goes, "Ah!" as it encompasses him and sucks him into the barrel, and you see his flesh peel from his bones as he becomes one with what's inside. And as it begins to glow even brighter than ever before, that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Rise of the Forsaken.
Wow, man.
Oh, man.
That was exciting.
That went pretty good. Went pretty good, boys. Went pretty good.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. It was nice to not be the guy getting beat up terribly all the time.
Man, see,
Yeah.
it finally paid off, Bragan. You took an ogre down, man.
That's right.
It's impressive. So
He had help.
he did have help. Why you got to bring him down, Seamus? Why you got to bring him down?
That's
Seamus.
jealousy right there.
Because Marius would always bring me down and kill my enemies
That is
instead of me
true.
getting the final kill.
Sorry.
Oh, no, that Chaos Bro stole my kill. So
He did.
That's true.
Technically,
Shot
he
an
did.
out at him, yeah.
Technically, he did. Now, I will say, that ogre was on death's door. He had like 2 wounds left, so it wasn't. You could have just barely pricked him, and he probably would have died the next time. So that's all right, though. But yeah, man, let's start with our usual banter. So, favored moments from the cast and crew. Let's start with one Marius Wolf.
I don't know. I was gonna think it'd be grab my magic pick, but
Can't match
You know,
your
I just previously was caught on fire and launched 20 feet against the
You were.
wall, and
You were.
it was it wasn't quite as glorious as I thought it would be. Oh, but yes, I enjoyed the fight scene overall. It was quite enjoyable, even though it started off a little a little rough for the crew.
A little rough? Just a little rough.
A little rough.
Oh, how about Mr. Seamus? Favorite moments?
I feel I'm in my emotions right now. I got to fire my really awesome rifle,
You did.
and it knocked me prone, which I thought was hilarious. But
Yes.
in reaction to that, my last well, I guess not, but my trusty repeater crossbow is gone.
It's slag.
So,
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm sad about it. I don't know how to feel. I lost one cool weapon, but I gained another.
It's true.
I'm in my emotions right now.
You always you have a regular crossbow back home. It's fine.
Screw that.
Screw that.
That's a peasant's weapon.
What, this repeater one?
Peasant. Well, I have to reload it. This is bullshit.
Damn.
How about Bragadine? Favorite moment, Bragadine?
I fought an ogre.
You fought an
Held
ogre.
my own against an ogre. Like, held my own against the ogre repeatedly.
You did.
Yeah.
Now, I will say it was a naked, severely decimated ogre,
gotta
but
bring
he
me
was
down.
still an ogre.
Yeah.
What are you
Keep
gonna do
bringing
about
him down.
Yeah. Wait, you gonna take? Like, get hate on me
He thinks he's better than us.
because I am.
Because he is.
I'm a noble son.
It's a noble Bragadine, but no.
Yeah, go fetch me some deer for my dinner table.
Whoa!
Hell yes. Oh, I love this. This is fantastic.
Marius knows what'll happen. I just blew a hole in this
It's true.
person with that rifle.
Decimated.
That was amazing.
Oh, man. Well, favorite moment for me was melting Seamus's crossbow. I'm sorry. It was. I'm sorry, bro. It happens. It happens sometimes. The Lord giveth and taketh. Sigmar did not bless you this day.
I got my jaw broken for that thing.
You did. You did get your jaw broken for it. Unfortunately, yeah, that did happen. But you've got a cool thunderer. You've got a pistol. You got a sweet sword. You got lots of cool stuff. It's fine.
It's true.
It's fine.
Well, we all kind of got sweet new stuff too.
Yeah,
Like my
everybody's got
shield
some
and
good shit.
That sweet pick, yeah.
You can also, Bragadine, you can write down that your sword is also unbreakable.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep, they have the unbreakable quality.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Is Marius going to have to come up with a name for his pick?
I have a name prepared.
Ooh,
The dwarven
all
name.
right.
You can name it whatever you want. And maybe one day you'll hear the name of it. You obviously wouldn't know what it is.
Yeah.
So
Let the fans can decide. It's not
the
cool
fans
name.
can decide.
Yeah.
So
The Big Jim. What's the name of Seamus?
in
Seamus'
new
sword
accordance with what we recently established in previous episode 30, I of course will have a viewer decision ready for all those out there watching. If you wish to affect the game in some way, leave us a comment. Basically, the subject this time around is going to be, what is the demon engine about to do? Be creative,
Something
guys.
bad.
More than likely something bad. I prefer. But
Break.
that will be, if they say that's what happens, that's what happens. We'll see. I've got a feeling they're going to roast you guys alive. It's fine.
No.
So,
Yeah, I feel that coming too.
so viewer decisions out there. You guys can help affect the game, help interact with us. Gives you guys one more ways to kind of interact with the game happening. So I thought that was kind of a cool idea. So we're going to keep doing that. As usual, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you guys for playing. And, man, this has been an awesome game, and I'm loving every second of it, guys. I know you guys are too. So with that, guys, We enjoy your comments. Make sure to leave them. And of course, I have been Jumbo Thick. This has been Rise of the Forsaken. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Have a good day.